Good evening, guys. Good evening. Is my screen visible and am I properly audible? Can any of participants please confirm? So today is day 14 of this virtual internship in Python, and I welcome you all on behalf of Pantech elearning. So can we start today's session, guys? Today we are going to see about SQL connectivity, which means the database connection and management with the help of Python. Okay, so how can you do it with the help of Python? We are going to see it today. And before starting it, I think in the previous class we are building a Jarvis, which is a virtual assistant, and we haven't completed it, right? So we need to do one thing which I told you in previous sessions. We have learned about web scraping. So I thought it will be a better idea to integrate web scraping also with this voice assistant so that it can speak. Okay. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do one simple task. So I have a website where we are having some online jokes. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to scrape that website and give that feed to the Jarvis code so that it can access it and read the code. Okay, read that HTML file and take that joke. And whenever I ask it to tell a joke, it should tell that, and it should ask whether do you want another joke. If I tell that, it should take the next element and tell me that next one. So once we complete this task, we'll go into database management with the help of Python. So we'll see how to perform CRUD operations. We are going to see with MySQL, and once we complete that, we will be seeing about the assignment. Okay, today we will be getting the assignment update link for second assignment. So please make sure you update in that. And tomorrow is day 15, right? So it's the next assignment day. I'll be giving you another assignment for tomorrow's class. Okay, in tomorrow we'll be having a new assignment. Clear, guys? So we'll start with the Jarvis first and then going into the rest of the part of this class. Okay, so I'll go into the code. So this is the code which was working fine till yesterday, and we have to add some another option which is elif tell me a joke. If this is in query, so query is the audio input from me, right? So if it is present, okay, let me pass it for now. So I want to create a function so that I can use it here. So let me go into the class Jarvis and I want to create some things here. Define joke. Okay, and let me pass self inside. So if you have any issues with submitting the assignment regarding if you cannot post it, so I'll give you an idea. I think it's an error with the image you are attaching. So it's better you can just copy the code and paste it in either Word or convert it into a PDF and then try to submit it. Okay, it will be fine. So some students have asked in LinkedIn message, so I responded them and they told it is successful. They can submit it now in that way. So please convert it into different format. Okay, like PDF or Word document, and then attach it and try to submit it. Okay, that will be fine. So now I'll pass it here. Now I want to type the code here. So which will scrape the internet and take that, okay, joke, and it want to say when I ask it. Okay, and I hope you got the assignment update link. Please make sure you update it in that. Okay, only the second assignment, and make sure you are copy the link of that submission. Okay, don't type LinkedIn or Facebook. You want to paste the assignment link so that if you have your name, if I click that link, it should take to your assignment. Please make sure of it. And let us create this. Before I'll go into this one, so this is the website I told you. It is having some jokes. Okay, so one by one I need to take it. And regarding the web scraping, you can right click and click this inspect, and let me go and search these things. Okay, I can take these things one by one. I can access it and I need to take it. So for these tasks, which library we are going to use? Do you guys remember about web scraping? We have done, right? What are things we need? Anyone remember? Do you guys remember what is the thing we need? we are going to take the HTML from the URL of a website, right? So first I need a beautiful soup for web scraping. So from BS4 import beautiful soup. Okay, and I'm going to get it from the browser, so I need request. Okay, import requests, and then I need import LXML, which is parser. Okay, so all these things I need, and here I'll type the code. Wait guys, where it is? Here, right? So here I want to type the code, right? So let me use all the libraries which I have told now. I'll copy the URL, paste it in this variable URL. Okay, so this is the website. I'll copy the link, I'll paste it here. Okay, we are going to scrape this website, and for this URL I'll get the HTML. How can we get? With the help of request, right? What is the option? Requests.get. Okay, inside I'll pass this URL, and we need to pass a parser, right? LXML. Okay, and in this I'm going to get the text alone, text. Okay, and we'll be getting the HTML. I'll pass it in this object soup equal to beautiful soup. This is, we have done it, right, already. I'll pass the HTML here, and here another thing is that, okay, you can pass a features in this. I'll pass features is equal to, I'll pass the LXML parser here also, so that here we got some error when I tried it earlier on. When you use this option, it is helpful for parsing, otherwise you will be getting some red lines, but it is working fine only. Okay, and regarding this soup, now I want to find the element. Okay, let me go and find how can I get this jokes one by one. Okay, let me inspect it once again. And using this option I can go and search. So I want to go into this and take one by one, and see here this entire box. Okay, this belong to this divide element, and the class is RMD joke. Let me copy this one. So in every class which has this RMD joke, okay, it is having the text inside, which is the joke. So if I try to access this divide element belonging to this class, okay, I can take joke one by one. See here in the left side you can see, right, the color changes. Okay, so with this we can do it. So what I'm going to do, let me find the divide element, from which we can find the divide element using soup dot find underscore all. This is going to give me a list of everything, right? So I'll go and find all of these things which belong to the divide element, and I want that class alone. So class underscore is equal to, okay, RMD joke, this class. Okay, and what I will be doing is I'll print that joke. Okay, this is a list, so I'm going to get the 0th element alone. Okay, in the 0th index there will be one joke, right? Clear guys till now? And in this I need the text alone, so I'll call this dot text. Okay, and it has some spaces also. Okay, the line is like, it has some spaces in the front and end, so you can call the strip option to avoid it if it has. Okay, this will help me to take that things. Okay, so here I'm going to create a while loop, while true. So what will happen is the Jarvis will tell me one joke. Okay, here I want to speak it, right? So let me call self.speak, which is our option. We have created that function inside this class to speak that whatever I'm giving inside. So if you are having an error in submitting the assignment, please, what you can do is you can copy your code and paste it in Word or convert it into a PDF, and then try to attach it, okay, in the post, LinkedIn post. Don't attach the screenshot, you can directly attach the file. In some cases it is success, so you can try that. And in speak I want to pass these things. Okay, whatever the joke is, I want to read it. Okay, and once it told me the joke, I want to ask it, do you want another joke? Okay, so I'll call this self.speak to ask me, do you want another joke? So here I want it to listen. Okay, so I'll create in the variable cmd, which is command. I want it to take command, so self.take command. Okay, this will help me to take command dot lower. So in this, if tell me in cmd, so whenever it is asking, if I tell me, okay, which means I want it to tell another joke. So here I wanted to tell the second joke, okay, which will be, I'll call the divide. Okay, in that I'll pass the first index. So first index will be the next joke, right? So it will be dot text dot strip. Okay, and this will print that, and I wanted to speak also, self dot speak, and I'll pass this one. And we are going to change one thing. See here, I don't want it to pass manually 1 or 2. So whenever I'm asking, it should tell me another jokes, right? So I wanted to access the next element. So what I'm going to do, I'll create a variable n is equal to 0. Okay, I'll pass the n here. So the n value will be 0. So first time it is telling a joke, it will tell the first element. Okay, and once coming into the while loop, okay, it will ask whether do you want another joke. If I tell yes, I want to add this with 1. Okay, so whenever this while loop is running, I'll add n with 1. N plus is equal to 1. Okay, every time the loop runs, the value will keep on adding. And here I wanted to terminate. If I said no, it should terminate, right? Elif no in CMD. If I tell no, it should break. In else case, I'll pass it. Clear guys how this is working? So instead of 1 here, I should pass n, so that every time a new joke will appear. When this loop runs again, it is going to take the next element and tell me that next joke. So this is what the plan is. We'll try to use it, okay? Wait a minute guys. So the object here is AI, right? So it is AI.joke. So we'll try to run this. Please listen. I'll increase my volume.
Good evening. I am Jarvis, sir. Please tell me how may I help you?
Tell me a joke.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Do you want another joke?
Okay, it ran properly, but here some issue with this take command. Okay, that's not a capital C, it's my issue, but it is working fine, right? It take the first element. We'll try to get the second element now, okay? This take command is doing the issue. Now I'll run it again. Listen guys. It told that first joke, right?
I am Jarvis, sir.
This one.
Please tell me how may I help you?
Tell me a joke.
I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down. Do you want another joke?
Tell me.
A man was walking through a graveyard when he saw a lady sitting on a bench. Morning, he said. No, she replied. Just resting. Do you want another joke?
Tell me a joke.
Today, my son asked can I have a bookmark, and I burst into tears. He's 11 years old and he still calls me Mark, but my name is Brian. Do you want another joke?
No. Sleep. Okay, now it is terminated. It is working fine, right? Similarly, you can integrate, like for example, if you want to see what is the score of the match happening now or what is today's match, you can integrate it. You can do automatic web scraping, like you can connect it with ClickBuzz, and where the today's match is showing, you can integrate. And if you ask what is today's match, it should tell what it is. Okay, every time you run, it should tell in whatever day you are asking, it should tell correctly. So it is very interesting guys. If you are interested, you can try these things. Okay, now we'll go into the next one. So we'll wind up this one. This is fine now. So today, now we will be starting with database management. Can we start guys? Can we start guys regarding the database management? Give me thumbs up in chat box. So regarding the database management, What is a database? We'll start from the scratch. A database is a structured collection of data. Okay, it's collection of data that is organized and stored in a way that allows for efficient retrieval and manipulation of information. And a database typically consists of tables which contains rows and columns. Okay, it is like a table information collection of data and can be accessed and manipulated by softwares called database management system so that it can be properized and structurized. Okay, this program you can actually do, right? Why should I upload? You can do it. Okay, once you listen to this class, we have built from the basics, right? You can try and do it. I'll appreciate you. So even I can give this as an assignment also. In the next class I will be giving assignment, right? I'll integrate with Jarvis so that it will be fine, right? Please try to do it on your own. And regarding the database management, it provides a set of tools for like whether whatever things you need, whether you want to query it, which means accessing, or you want to modify or whatever the things you can do with this database. And most commonly there is a language for doing this which is known as structured query language. It is a programming language that is used to manage relational databases. And SQL is a standard language used to create or modify. They used to tell CRUD operations, which is create, okay, update, delete, all those things. And there are many databases like MySQL, Oracle database, Microsoft, okay, PostgreSQL, SQLite, many are there. We are going to focus on MySQL. I'll tell you how to use it and connect and perform operations with MySQL. If you want to use MySQL with Python, then you want to install this, okay, MySQL connector Python. Note it down, guys. If you are going to use MySQL, you want to install it. And another thing which I am not be covering in this class, you want to create, okay, you want to download MySQL and you want to create an account and you need your password there, okay. Once you set up that, only you can access and do these things with MySQL. So we'll be not covering that, but if you already have that knowledge, it will be better for you, or else you can try to do it later on and then integrate with Python. Okay. So to use this, you need this MySQL connector Python. So install it, and once you done it, okay, you want to create a connection. Okay. So let me open my MySQL database. There is something known as Workbench where you can actually visualize the database. Okay. This is an app. I'll show you. So this is a connection. See here, this is the service name and the root. Okay, username is root, and we have a password here, and the local host, it belongs to 3306. All these details are needed. Okay. So once you import this connector, you are going to connect to the host. Okay. What is the host? Here it is local host, and where it is? It is here. Okay. The name is here localhost, the connection, and the user is root, and the password you have to enter it here. Host, okay, localhost, user equal to root, and the password you want to enter that password. And once you done these things, once if it is success, you can print this message connection established, which means you have actually connected with MySQL. Okay, and I'll enter the password here. Okay, this is the SQL. I'll remove these things. See here, this is the databases. There are new to and user details. All these things are database. Okay, I can directly create a database here, or I can do it with Python. So we'll see how to do it with Python now. First, I need to connect it, right? Let me go into the IDE. So now I want to connect it. First, I'll import mysql.connector. Okay, as I'll give a short name connector. Okay, so every time we can use this mysql.connector and the name connector, and I'll create a variable db, which is for database connector.connect, and in this you want to pass the information. So first will be host. What is the host name? It is localhost, since you are connecting it in your local server, localhost, and the user I'll set it to root. Okay, so it is the username, and password you have to enter it. All these things you have to done. Okay, so once if it is running successfully, I'll print. Okay, this message will come only if this connection is successful. Okay, since it comes line by line from the top, I'll pass connection established, and the information I'll pass this db. So we'll see what it is present there. Okay, can we run it, guys? I'll try to run this. See here, it is telling the connection is established. Okay, now it is connected. Okay, so we can perform the operations based on SQL. Okay, this is for direct connection, so you can perform the SQL commands. There are some commands for SQL like create database or view. It is very simple, guys. You can learn it, and you can actually type it in Python and you can execute and see the result in MySQL. So the first one will be creating a cursor. So what is a cursor? So in this DB, you are connected, right? There is an option for cursor. So this cursor will help you to execute. In that you are having this execute option. Using this execute, you can directly type the raw SQL commands. Okay, this is a SQL command create database. So this is for creating a database, and near to that I have given some name, right? Mark list. So it will create a database in the name mark list. So that's what this execute will do. Okay, can we try to do it, guys? Can we try it? So what I'm going to do, see here, where is my database? See here. We are having a database in the name new to user underscore details, right? Now I'm going to create a database in the name mark list. So I'm going to do it with Python. So now connection is established, right? So I'm going to create a cursor first. Cursor is equal to db.cursor. Okay, this will be a cursor, and using this cursor I'm going to execute a command which is create database. So this is a SQL command, and near to that you have to give a name for it, and I'll create in the name mark list. Okay, guys, I'll print once if it is running successfully. I'll print database created. I'll save it and run it. It will first connect, and the database is created now. It is telling database created. Can we see it in MySQL? I'll go into MySQL workbench and I'll click refresh here. See here, there is a database right now. Mark list is added. How it is added? Because we have used Python cursor to do this operation. Now we have created a mark list, but it doesn't have anything. Okay, this is an empty table. There is no table. So to create table, we'll see what we can do for further things. Okay, this will be creating a database first, and next moving into view what all available database. Okay, now I want to check what all the databases available. So there is an option in SQL. This is a SQL command, show databases, and this will return many things, right? So you want to use a for loop to get one by one. So we'll try to use this one. And remember, don't run it again, okay? Since you have already created a mark list, okay, it will tell error. So I'll remove this one. We have already created a database, and using this cursor dot execute, okay, and I'll type a command show databases. It is show databases. For X in cursor, I'll print X. Okay, I'll run it. See here, it is giving me the information. Okay, these are the things. Mark list is there, which we got added now. There is known as new. All these things are databases available in our MySQL workbench in my database. Okay, and now next thing will be, we have seen how to create a database, how to view a database, what all things there. Next will be how to use a database. If you want to create a table and store information, you want to select a database because there are many databases, right? And I want to use this mark list database. So for that I have to execute use mark list. Okay, so I'll tell it to use mark list database. Okay, and I'll print success. I'll save it and run it. It is coming success because it is now using the mark list database. So once I click this use mark list, I'm going to go inside that mark list database, and inside let us see how to create a table. So first you have to, if you want to store information in a table, you want to create a table. Okay, so table is like what all the column names you are going to give, and what is the limit. Okay, what all the things you are going to store, whether it will be a string character or an integer. Okay, what is the limit for it? You can set it by creating a table. First you have to create a table and give a name for it. Once you create a table, then only you have to go and insert the record. Okay, you can insert single record or you can insert multiple record like this. Okay, So let me create a table first. So to create a table, this is the option cursor.execute. In the execute, using cursor.execute only we are performing this operation. Create table, and near to that you have to give a name. So I'm going to store the English mark list. Okay, so I'll create English, and inside the bracket, see here, this will be the name of the column. Okay, first name column and marks column. And near to that you want to specify which data type it is. Okay, this is belonging to the MySQL, like SQL language data type, and varchar it is 255, the limit is, and then the marks is in integers. Okay, we'll create a table first, and see here, when I click this table, I'll refresh all, there is no table. Okay, see here in the mark list there is no table, and I'm going to create a table with Python. So once I use this mark list, I'll call cursor dot execute, and in execute I want to type the SQL command create table. I want to give a name, let me give it as English. Okay, and I'll pass name. First one will be the name column, varchar 255. Okay, this is the limit for it, comma, marks, and this will be integer. Okay, so once this is done, we'll try to do this. Let me run it. Okay, it ran successfully. Can we check it in MySQL, guys? Can we check it? I'll go into MySQL workbench. See here, I'll refresh this one. And in tables, as you can see in the mark list, there in tables we got this English. And once I go into it, there are columns. Okay, name column and marks column. And see here, the name is the set we have, like we have set it right, the data type, and the marks we have set it to integer. Okay. Now we have successfully created a table. You can create many tables like this. Now let us see how to add information to this table. Okay, how will you add a record? How to insert record? To insert a record, okay, you need two things. Okay, you want to call which table you are going to use, and the column names and their data type. Okay, what the data type, the values you are going to insert, and the actual value. So I'm going to pass these two variables here directly so that it will be added. So to insert a record, you can use this insert into. So this will insert into English table. Okay, that's why I'm calling this English. And I'm going to store this name and marks. And the values are string characters I'm going to insert. Okay, percentages. There is something known as percentage D also. And the value I'm passing, the first one will be Jiva and his marks 85. Once I done it, I'm going to use this cursor to execute. And see here, finally we got a new line which is db.commit. So what is this commit is? Once you want to add or insert a record, you want to use this commit using this db, which we first called to connect our database, right? The first variable we have created, and this will make sure the database is updated. Otherwise you won't see the update. Okay, whenever you are inserting or deleting a record, you have to use this db.update. And let me perform this and add the information. Okay, now we have created a table, so I don't want to have this line again. I'll use this mark list. Okay, I'll create a variable SQL is equal to, I want to type the command insert into English. Okay, I'm going to insert into English. So the type name will be name and marks. These are the column names, and the values, let it be these things. Okay, once I done this, I'll create a value for it. Value is equal to, I'll create a tuple. The first name will be Jiva, comma, the mark. Okay, I'll set it to 87 something. Okay, so both of the things I need to pass it to the cursor dot execute, and I'll pass these two things. Okay, SQL, comma, well, and since I want to visualize it in, like, I wanted to update in my database, I'll call db.commit. I'll run this, guys. We'll try to check it whether this detail is added. It is run successfully. Okay, so what I need to do, let me go and check in this MySQL. Let me refresh it. And inside this mark list, see here, the columns, name and marks are there. So I'll select this, I click select all statement, I'll run this one, and see here we got the table. Okay, it is added. Jiva and the marks is 87. One detail is added. Okay. Now we'll try to add many details. How will you add multiple details? So to insert multiple record, you want to create a list with many tuples. Okay. Yes, you want to install MySQL connector Python, then only you can connect it with database, and you cannot directly connect it. You want to have proper MySQL installed in your system. You want to create an account. It should run properly in your server. Okay, you should have a password same. Then only it will connect. And regarding this, if you want to add this SQL statement will be same. But regarding this execute option, you want to add this execute many. This will help you to execute many things. And you want to pass multiple tuple inside a list. Can we try it, guys? We'll try to insert 2-3 things here. Okay, this will be the same. Here I want to create a list, okay, to add multiple things. And Jiva is already there. I'll change this to Sam. Okay, 89, and I'll create Tom. Okay, comma, we'll add another detail. I'll save it. Okay, so instead of this execute, you want to pass execute many. Clear, guys? I'll run this. It ran, so we can check the SQL command again. So I'll run this one and see here many details got added, right? We got all these details added in our table. This is how you can insert multiple records inside with the help of this one. Okay, and regarding display, so you want to see what are things there. So you have added, but using Python you want to check what all things present in this English table. So when you want to see that, you can execute, okay, select star from English, which means select everything from English. So it is going to take everything and store in this cursor. And I'll create a variable result equal to cursor dot fetch all. Okay, this will help me to take all these things, fetch all. Once you fetch all these things, okay, using a for loop, I'll execute one by one so that I can see all these details. Let me do this thing. Now we have executed this thing, so it is not required now. I'll use this mark list, cursor dot execute, select. These are raw SQL commands. Select star from English. Okay, and then I'll create a variable result is equal to cursor dot fetch all. Okay, so this will help me to get all these things. Using for loop, I'll print for x in result, print x. And see here what all things present in that table have been came in this IDE. Okay, this is how you can see all these details which is present there. And next thing will be, what if you want to see one guy's mark alone. Okay, here it is Day14, so I want to see his mark alone. So how to use filter and search that detail alone, we'll see that. If you want to use a filter and take that, you can use this command. Okay, select star from English, along with that, okay, where name is equal to, you can pass and search that. Okay, you can pass the mark and get the name, and vice versa. If you are having many columns, you can use one single detail and get that entire row. Okay, and you can fetch all and pass this inside this. We'll try to repeat this. Here select star from English, where I'm using a filter where name is equal to Day14. Okay, and I'll run this. See here, I got that result alone, right? So this is how you can get a single detail. Okay, if you want to search that entire row, you can get it. Okay, and next thing will be update. So if you want to update a value, how can I do it? Using update, you want to mention the table English. You can use this set option to set that, change that. Okay, marks equal to 78 where the name is Jiva. So I want to perform this one to change this guy's mark. Okay, in this cursor dot execute, I'll change these things. Update English, set marks is equal to 90. Okay, where for whom name is equal to Jiva. Okay, so for this guy I'm going to change the mark, and here I don't want to pass these things, I just want to commit it because this is changing. Okay, so I'll run this. It is performed, so we'll try to see in our database whether for this guy the mark changed to 90. Okay, see here the mark got updated to 90, right? So this is how you can update. Okay, you have created red update, and the final will be the delete. So we can complete this CRUD operation. So for deleting, you can use delete from English where the name is equal to Sam. If I want to delete this guy's record, I can do it. Okay, I'll do this. Cursor.execute delete from English. Okay, from English where name is equal to Sam. So I'm going to delete this one and I'll commit it. So I'll run this. It ran, so we'll check whether that Sam guy it is here. So if I refresh this, I'll run this query again. See here that thing got removed, right? So this is how you can delete one row, okay, one detail. And if you want to delete the entire thing, for example, if you want to delete the entire table, you can execute this cursor.execute drop table English. So you can mention that name, that table will be deleted. Cursor.execute, okay, drop table English. So I'll finally delete this table also. I don't want this commit option here since it is just deleting it entirely. So only if you want to update a record or add a record, you want to use that. Okay, use commit option, and now we'll check whether this table is available. I'll click to refresh this and see here in the mark list there is no table English. If I run this, I'll be getting nothing because there is no table in that name. Okay, so we have successfully deleted that table. So that's all about database. Is it clear, guys? Regarding the database, we are just using the cursor. Okay, so if I give you a refresh, we are using a connector and connect it to our database, and we are using cursor to execute many options. So all these commands which I am typing inside are raw SQL statements. So if you know SQL, you can play with this with the help of Python to store information and do all these CRUD operations. So regarding the assignment 2, so assignment 2 update link is available in the description and it is pinned in the chat box. Please make sure you update it there. It is mandatory, and those who cannot post the assignment, there is a limit for you for attaching the file or the line. So make sure it is best to paste it in a document and attach that. It will be fine for you to submit. Okay, otherwise if you have any doubts, you can contact us through LinkedIn or Facebook. Okay, and regarding the assignment 2, can I explain it? Can we write that code? Can we see what is the assignment 2? Remember, guys, many of you guys have done it very good. So we'll please update it and we'll see. So the rules for this ATM simulator. So you want to create a ATM simulator using class and object in Python, and it should check whether the username and password, okay, it is available, means then only it should allow the user to use the ATM. And it should have a balance option, withdrawal option and deposit option. Every time the user tries to use that options, you want to use, okay, random module to send a 6-digit OTP and ask the user to enter that. If it is correct, then only you want to allow the user to log in. Okay, sorry, to perform that operation, which is like a balance inquiry or withdrawal or deposit. Okay, we will see the code now. I already have it, so I'll explain you one by one so that you can understand it properly. Okay, wait a minute, guys. Right, guys, I got a little bit technical issue. Guys, am I audible? So I hope it is visible now. Is it clear, guys? Can we start? I'll explain you the assignment. Sorry for the technical issue. So I can't see the chat box now. I'm sorry. So I'll explain you one by one. Okay, with that we'll wind up today's session. So first I'm importing the random module for generating the OTP. Okay. So am I clear, right? Am I audible? Yes, so okay. So I'm creating a class in the name ATM. First we are creating a class and I'm creating a dictionary, okay, in the name database db equal to I'm creating a dictionary, and with key 1 I'm having a value which is a dictionary which is storing for one user, his name is Sam and the password is this one. Okay. And for the second user I'm creating a name for him and the password will be this one. So both of these, like if you add another thing, I'm going to check whether it is available here. If the user is available in this, so he is having an account, so I'm going to allow him to use this ATM. Okay. So first I'm using this, okay, and I'm setting the balance is 10,000 which is common for everyone. Using init and self we are going to start, okay, and we need two things. First one will be the name and password from the user. This is the argument I'm going to get. Okay, and using self.u underscore name I'm storing this name which the user will be entering. I'm storing it in this object self in this instance, and the password I'm storing, okay, and this balance, what is this? This variable belong to the class, right? So using this I am storing it in the object, okay. So for every user it will change, right? So I am storing it in self.balance will be this ATM.balance. So this 10,000 is now belonging to the instance. So next thing will be validation. So I'll create a function for validating the user. So why this function? This is to validate. So I'll be creating separately, okay. First for validation, for OTP verification, for checking balance, all these things will be created. Finally I'll create a start, okay. This function will integrate all these functions which we have created earlier. Okay, that's what the idea is. So starting with the validation, in validation for d in atm.db.value. So this db, this is belonging to the class ATM. This is a class variable. So using this atm.db, and in that, see here, this key I don't need it. I just want to check the value, this dictionary which is a value, okay. So I'll call db.values and I'm using a for loop. We have done it, right? So this will help me to run this for loop. Whatever, like how many value is present, this will be one value and this will be another value. If another thing is present, it is going to give that in for loop, and it is given in the name d, okay. And using d, I'm getting the name alone and I'm checking whether that name is equal to the user entered name, and the password from d is same as the password entered by the user here. So both of these things, if it is available in this dictionary, it is going to give me, allow me, okay, this will turn true since it is a AND, okay, AND operator. This will be true, so this will go into this conditional statement if, and I'm setting this login underscore status as true, okay, and I'm printing logged in successfully. So once I done this, I'll return login underscore status. So this validation, if the entered details are success, it is going to print logged in successfully and give me this login status which is true. So I will be using this somewhere, okay. I'll tell you where I'll be using it. If it is not available, I'm just going to return invalid credentials. Is it clear about validation, how it is done? You are using a dictionary and we are using a for loop by taking the values alone, and we are going into it by this key name and searching the name and password. Clear, guys? Once I done this, next will be OTP generation. I'll passing the self here, OTP equal to random.randint. So since I need a 6-digit OTP, What is the range between the 6-digit OTP? I am giving that. Okay, it will start from this and go till this one. Okay, and above this will be a 7-digit and below this will be a 5-digit. That's what the idea is. Okay, so I'll print. Okay, print OTP, and this OTP will be showed here. Clear, guys? And I'll create a value enter is equal to int input. So okay, I'll show this OTP and ask the user to enter this one. If it is correct, if it matches, okay, if OTP is equal to enter, I'll pass the self.otp underscore status. I'll set this to true and I'll return this status. Okay, using self, I'm passing this status. I'll setting this to true, which means if this is true, I'll be allowing the user to perform that operation later on. Okay, and else I'll return invalid OTP. And the next thing will be checking the balance. So I'll check. I hope this is a 7-digit, right? I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I hope it's correct. Okay, so it's fine. So regarding this one, checking the balance. So regarding when I want to check the balance in this function, I'll create a variable OTP and I'll pass the self.otp. So I'm calling this OTP function here. Okay, so this will return, this will run this function. It will generate a OTP and ask me to enter a OTP. If it is correct, it is going to give me status as true. Okay, so if the OTP is equal to true, which means this will return true, and if it is equal to true, I'm going to return the balance. Okay, I'm going to perform that operation. Else I'll return the OTP directly. So this OTP variable, if he entered wrongly, this will be, the value will be invalid OTP and that will be shown to the user. This is for checking the balance. And the next function will be withdrawal. Okay, here also first I'll run the OTP option and store the result in OTP variable. If it is true, then the OTP entered is correct, so I'm going to perform that operation. I'll ask the amount from the user. If it is less than the balance, which means if it is available in his balance, then I'm going to subtract it from the balance and I'm going to tell him it is withdrawn successfully. Or else I'll return insufficient balance if he entered some amount which is greater than his balance. Okay. Once we done these things, okay, if it is not true, then I'm going to return the OTP. So in this OTP, if he is failed, then it is going to give me invalid OTP. Clear, guys, regarding withdrawal? And regarding deposit, it is same. So I'm creating that same OTP, running that first. If it is success, if it is true, I'm going to ask the amount, and if it is greater than 0, which means if it is a valuable amount, then I'm going to tell him that I'm going to add it. Okay, and I told it is deposited successfully in your account. Or else I'll return invalid. If it is failed, it is going to return wrong OTP, invalid OTP. Okay, I'll explain you again. So listen to this. In the end, I'll explain you once again about the dictionary accessing part. I'll explain you separately so that you can visualize it. Okay, please listen now. Finally, we have created all these things. Now I'm going to integrate. Okay, integrate with start. Okay, so in the start, okay, first I'm calling for login. Okay, in the variable I'll call this validation. So this will return whether it is success or not. This validation we have created it here, right? See here, guys, we have created, right? So if this is success, it is going to return this login status as true. Okay, and I'll store it in login, and if it is true, it is going to print welcome to the ATM. If it is false, it is going to tell error or like access denied or something you can display. If it is success, then I'm going to print this message and I'm going to go into a while loop. So once the user go in, okay, till he terminate it, this loop will run. So I'm printing select balance inquiry. So every time this will print this option, deposit, withdrawal and quit. And I'll ask the user to select any one. If it is 1, I'll pass the self.check balance for balance checking. And for 2, it is deposit. For 3, it is withdrawal. I'll pass these functions. Finally, it is break. If it is 4, I'll going to quit it. And now see here, guys. Every time I run, I want this name and password from the user, but I want to create it for different peoples. How will you pass an argument in a class? Remember, guys, you want to create an object, and in that object you want to pass the argument inside parenthesis. So what I am going to do, before calling this class, before creating an object, I am asking for user to enter the name and enter the password. See here, I already done it. So this thing will ask the input. So whatever the user input is, I am creating an object in the name run equal to ATM, the class name, and the user entered detail will be passed as an argument directly, and I'll ask it to run. So let me run this. Okay, what is the username we stored? Sam and ABCDEF, right? So I'll enter a wrong name, wrong password, it is telling me error because it won't go inside. If I enter correctly Sam and the password is ABCDEF, it is going to go into this while loop. So I'll go for balance inquiry. It is printing me the OTP. So it will ask again, enter the OTP. I'll pass it. Okay, it is giving me the balance as 10,000. So I'll go for deposit amount. Okay, it is asking me to enter the OTP. I'll pass it here. Enter the amount. I'll pass 3,000. 3,000 deposited. Now I'll check the balance. So I want to enter the OTP. Is it clear, guys? I'll tell you how the dictionary is working for checking. So now it is 13,000. Okay, 3,000 got added. I'll go into withdrawal. Okay, I'll enter that OTP. You can enter the amount. I'll pass 3,000. I'll take that back. Okay, 3,000 withdrawal. I'll check the balance again. With that, we'll quit it. It is almost time. So I'll enter the OTP. Now it is the balance came back to 10,000 again. I'll click for it will be quit. Clear, guys? I have separately created the functions and integrated in the end. And for passing the argument, I have done it here. I'll ask these things whenever I run this, and it will be passed as an argument for that object I'm creating. And I'm starting it with this start option where I have integrated everything. Okay. And now I'll explain you about this dictionary. Okay, let me copy this dictionary separately. I'll create a new code. I'll paste this dictionary. See here, guys. This is a dictionary. It is a key name 1 and the value is another dictionary where it contains key and value pairs. This is a nested dictionary. If I want to access one by one, I can go with db.0. So this is going to give me the first key and value pair. Okay. Sorry, the 0th index. So I want to pass this 1, the name of it, or I can use .get to get that. Okay, so if I want to go inside of it, I can pass the name of the key name. So it will give me the name or password. If I pass that, it will get me the password. So I'm going to use a for loop for x in db, print x. I'll show you. So if I run this, okay, this is the key name. So if I want to get the values, I can pass db.values. So it is going to give me the values. Okay, so the value is another dictionary where I'm having this name Sam, password ABCDEF, and for second user it is name John and the password is this one. Okay, so now if I want to check the name and password separately, I can pass this. Okay, inside this I can pass the name. If I run this now, it is going to give me the name alone from this dictionary, Sam and John, right? If you add another user, it is going to give me that name. And if I want the password, then I can go with password. And this is what actually I am doing there. I'll show you. It is giving me the name and password, right? See here, using dot values, I'm going into that, and using the key name, I'm getting the values. Similarly, here, the key is 1, okay? And this value is a user detail. So here, for d in atm.db, so since it belongs to the class variable, I'm calling atm.db, and in that I'm passing the values. So I'll be getting this one and this one in my for loop. So in D, I'm going to get the name and check whether it is equal to the name entered by the user, and the password I'm checking whether it is entered by the user, both are same. Okay? Clear, guys? How it is done? So that's it for today, guys. Please try to update the assignment, or if you haven't still completed, please rewatch this video. This will be available in YouTube. Okay? And try to complete it successfully. If you have any doubt or any issue, you can contact me in LinkedIn or Facebook. Okay. Random is just generating the random integer. Okay. So using random int, it is passing a random integer between this range. So since I need to get a 6-digit OTP, I am passing this. Okay. And once it is done, it will print that and ask me to enter this OTP again. Okay. Once if it both are same, I am going to return this variable as true, or else I will return invalid OTP, and both of these things I will be checking it wherever I am using the OTP. I am checking whether it is true. Okay, I am calling this function and I am checking both. Clear, guys? And that's it for today. Tomorrow please attend the session. Tomorrow is day 15, which is an assignment day. So I will be giving you an assignment. So please attend the session and try to complete the next assignment. Okay, still there are 6 class left. Tomorrow we'll be seeing about the library pandas. So I'll see you in tomorrow's session. Thank you guys. Thank you.